Breanna from Engineer Girl, and this is my first video. So, the video that I am doing for you guys today is why I decided to pursue an education in electromechanical engineer. So I have to go back into elementary. So, when I was about 5 years old, we had as everybody pretty much has, you have basically a future career fair. Like, I don't know if you guys had it in elementary school. So, my elementary school, we had it. So, everybody was dressing up of what they wanted to be when they got older and talking about it and basically researching, trying to look into it. So, when I was a little girl, I always knew I wanted to be something in STEM because I love science, technology, education, engineering, and math. So, I went into the field of medicine. I I wanted to become I think it was military doctor. Yes, it was a military doctor. And how I got into that realization, I think it was from my family's background because most of my family is military. I knew I wanted to be, in the military. And I think the doctor part of me wanted to be because, I wanted to help people, especially in medicine. I want to make people feel better and stuff like that. But I think it really changed for me of why I wanted to change my future career was COVID. Um, in 2020, yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on, and I think it was just a matter of fact of seeing all my friends' parents going through what they were going through, especially with medicine and the pandemic, and it just got me thinking, do I really want to do this for my whole entire life? Um, and I don't know. It was just a matter of fact of that. I never really understood what I was kind of getting myself into. So after 10th grade, I started looking into some other things. And so I think it wasn't until I got placed into a engineering class for my CTE pathway. So going into that, CTE, if you guys don't have it in your high schools, are basically not career. Yes, I think it's career technical education. So I can't talk today. And that's basically where your school will focus on basically technology, engineering, math, all that stuff over there in one category of different kind of like I don't know, like different kind of elements, I can say. We had different types, and you had to make sure you had at least 3 years of that in one of those. So we had Academy Arts, and then we had CTE. So I was one of the CTE because I'm not even gonna lie. Academy Arts. I unfortunately didn't have a gift for that, but I know I had a gift for science, technology, math, engineering. So I went down that route. So fast forward, I think it was my counselor. She put me into agriculture welding engineering, and oh yeah, it's a tongue twister. Um, I think I didn't understand what it was, but I wanted to take a look at it because I was trying to explore different things. And so I went into the program. The teacher, he was really nice. Right off the bat, as soon as I entered in the classroom, yeah, you can guess it, all boys. But one thing I can say is that they were really nice. They were really open, and I think they really needed some a girl in there because oh yeah. I think it was the matter of fact of that it didn't feel any different if I was the only girl. Like they treated me just like everybody else. I still did hands-on stuff. I built with um arc welder. I used a CSL plasma cutter. So it was all those things that I still was able to do. So I didn't feel any different that other people probably have stories about. Um so as we keep going down the line, I think that was when it really started because I loved it so much that something that was so extensive had most of hands on. And I never knew until that time that I was a pretty much hands on person. I love to do things using my hands. I am also a visual learner as well. So I was catching on to things quick. But I think it was really my teacher, my agricultural welding engineering teacher. He really opened my eyes up and said, "You really have an knack basically for engineering. So you should look into it." And so I basically went down the route of researching, reaching out to um other engineers, especially on LinkedIn because that's like my favorite website. So I went down that route as well as I did RTC. So RTC is basically, if you don't know, Air Force Junior RTC is basically it prepares you for a possible career in the Air Force. And you don't have to go into the Air Force. They're not trying to sign you up and get you shipped off. They're not trying to do that. They're actually really trying to build future citizens of America, basically. Trying to build your leadership, trying to build your discipline, and all the other stuff that comes with that program. And I'm not gonna lie, Air Force UNTC, it really built my confidence. So if I can recommend anything to you guys, it is definitely if you feel like if you want something to build your confidence, join your local ROTC. It won't hurt, okay? Um, so let's go into the niche. So I think it was sorry, my cat. I think it was basically say hi. So I think it was basically when I wanted to discover my niche, which was until I researched um about engineering. So I researched engineering, and if you don't know, engineering has so many subcategories, like so many. You got chemical engineer, you got petroleum engineer, you got robotics engineer, software engineer, any kind of engineer you think about. Really, it's really crazy. So I think it was until I read a couple books, and I always had I don't know how to explain. I always had an interest in space. I knew I wanted to build machines to help do space missions and all the other stuff. So I think that was the part when I really wanted to go into aerospace engineer. Which, if you don't know aerospace engineer, there's two different types of engineering in the aerospace, in the space kind of industry. There's aeronautical and there's aerospace. Aeronautical is basically, as you see behind me, dealing with outer limits, space shuttles, satellites, anything that goes beyond the atmosphere is basically aeronautical engineering. Aerospace has to deal with all kinds of different things in kind of the atmosphere, which is basically airplanes, what else? Jets, helicopters, all that kind of other stuff. So, and you can figure out what your niche is. Like there's industrial engineering, civil engineering. One of my friends, she's trying to be in architectural engineering, which is amazing. So and I decided to go into electrical and mechanical engineering. Sorry. Whew. Um so I wanted to go through that program because I felt like um I think I like the aspect of what it would help me with. It would help me with the electrical and the mechanical side of engineering. Before I started my aerospace engineering journey, so I felt like it would give me kind of a leg up to stand because coming from a background of having no people that I know around me that is an engineer, I feel like electrical mechanical engineering is a way to start building up your knowledge and your discipline to become an engineer. Um, I can go over my college experience. Yay! So if you sorry. If you don't really know, I am currently a engineering student. At a community college. I wanted to start community college because one, it was very affordable. I had a full ride, basically. And as you can see, these were some of the other awards and scholarships that I won for my senior year, right over here on this wall too. I'm not saying, to go straight to community college, but definitely go with something that is affordable, okay? You don't want to go into debt with a piece of paper. And trust me, I'm not lying. The piece of paper, it's very, very good, especially if you want to go into something such as engineering or medical or anything like that. But if you really want to think of a spot where to go first when you get out of high school, it's definitely community college. Okay, because it builds up, and you don't have to do it for 2 years like I'm doing. You can go for 1 year and then transfer over just to help you because college is hard. I'm not gonna lie, college is hard because you want to make sure that you can understand it before you go into university. Okay. Um, So let's go over some of the classes I took. Yay! So my first semester, which is basically called your first year, especially if you go to community college, um, basically those classes were pretty good. They were introductory classes on engineering. Um, I think that was about it. I took mechanisms and designs, industrial electricity, and there was some. I took my electives early, and they were pretty cool. Like, if you want to know any more about engineering or college experience, just put down in the chat below what videos you would like to see next. Um, so basically, the engineering classes were pretty good. I can't really complain. I still can't complain. I actually currently got finished with my second year, second semester. So, that's basically it. How I felt. Oh yeah, that was fun. Um, I don't know if anybody else, because I looked up some other videos and some people actually talk about this. Um, so when you do start your engineering journey, you will figure out that there's not many, and if you are a female, there's not many females, especially if you go through the community college route. There's not many females. I am still currently the only female in my engineering degree. My engineering, well, yeah, degree, electrical mechanical engineering. Um, I am still currently the only female, so it does get a little lonely, but at the same point in time, when you have a certain mind path and you know where you want to go, all the other stuff of figuring out, oh, I'm the only girl, it doesn't really affect you as much. And honestly, when you and especially in college, if you're still in high school, you will start finding out everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own journey. So you're not really gonna have that much, people say, "Oh, you're the only girl." No, honestly, everybody's in different points in their life of in college, especially in community college, that is not really gonna affect you that much. Um, I think the number one thing that I felt personally, going through college engineering so far right now is basically, I forgot the term's call, but I think it was basically where I felt like I wasn't good enough or I didn't know as much as, everybody else did. I felt timid with my professors. As most uh, college kids can probably tell you, they feel timid against the professors. They feel like if they ask a dumb question, then they'll seem like an idiot. But honestly, over time, you'll come out of that. Okay, so it's basically one of those things where you have to learn. You have to get out of your shell, and that's basically where clubs come in, all kinds of different other things. I know um I did a lot of clubs, especially in high school. I still do some more clubs, like I do Delaware Military 4-H, Girls Who Code. That is an amazing club. So if you guys want to join Girls Who Code, I would definitely do that. What else? There is some other ones as well. Society of Women's Engineering. That's a great one. Your local sorority, Phi Theta Kappa, amazing. And some other organizations, and you don't have to go out of your, you don't have to go to the most prestigious one. Just joining a club, having yourself kind of manage a club and being that president, or not even the president. You can be just a member. It really, getting out of your shell is the best way to go when talking and expressing your opinions to other people. Um, sorry. I think that was about it. Honestly, if you really can, just as I said, you don't have to know what you want to do in life. You still have time. Even when you were 34 years old, you still have time. Just know that you don't have to go in a certain way of engineering or any STEM program, as a matter of fact. Honestly, even if you do get your engineering degree, when you do get down that line, there is so much niches that you can go in with engineering that that degree will still be useful. Um, I think I think that's about it, honestly. Just know that as a person, I didn't want to become an engineer when I was a little kid. I always wanted to become a doctor. So just having that kind of knowledge of that, it's okay if you didn't want to become an engineer elementary school or all the other stuff. It's okay if you don't know, if you're currently as a college student. It's okay if you don't know, if you're not knowledgeable on technology or engineering, as a matter of fact. And it's definitely okay if you do go into engineering and you change it. Okay? Um I just want to let you guys know that is the end of the video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.